Okay, I'm with Trell. We're just doing a quick video because you happen to be here.
Right.
Age of Overlord's coming out, and you know about these things, unlike me. So, what are you thinking about, like the stuff in Age of Overlord, or more specifically, what's the three big things? It's like Horus,
Dibellar,
and like those two new guys.
and then there's the warrior guys, the Kin and Gin.
Kin and Gin.
How do y'all pronounce it? Kin Gin.
All right, we'll start with Horus. How are we feeling about that?
It is. I don't think it's bad. It works. I feel like it'll work with some archetypes. It's a bit. I feel like it plays bricks, and we know how that is in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Like, what do you mean? Like, is it
just
is the spell a brick?
The spell's technically a brick. I mean, you want to have it for the plays, but also the monsters work better from the grave type thing. So getting them to the grave, not saying it's impossible, but you're now playing a strategy that will have to get them to grave. So that becomes an issue to some point. People will say it's easy. In grind games, it's not as easy. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like top tier, but it'll be a
Are
good
all the monsters level 8? Or most of them?
Most of them are, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Okay, so it's like kind of a level 8
look cool.
toolbox
Yeah, like
thing.
they're pretty much a toolbox thing, but of course, and they have effects on field as well. So they're kind of like
Yeah, it's like when stuff goes to grave, they get effects.
when they're sent by card effects, when they're sent to grave or removed or whatever by card effects, then they get effect or whatever. So that works out too. Of course, they spell something from grave for free as long as you got the spell card.
So they can be a recurring engine.
Definitely. Yeah. So decks that can utilize the graveyard, and they can get cards into the graveyard, will use it.
So it won't be a deck at first.
No, it'll be an engine.
It's going to be an engine.
Definitely an engine. If you play as a deck, then you be you. But
when the new stuff comes out, like in the next set, does that change? I know that's when they get like a field spell.
True.
And
I still don't think it'll be a deck. Plus, we're also at a point in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where there's no pure decks really besides Salad. So I still don't think it'll be a full deck.
Right. Okay. So now Dibellar. How are we feeling about that?
Besides being expensive and being pretty expensive, I like them. They have their own. What I'm thinking about? What's the rocket launcher?
Yeah, quick launch.
Quick launch. They have their own quick launch.
Oh yeah, they do.
They have their own quick launch. So first off, for me personally, I think quick launch is a top 5 card in the game personally, just for what it does. Any deck or any archetype that has a quick launch, E-Telly, quick launch, any archetype that has those, or any type that has those, it's already a plus in my book, because my thing is getting into the grave is one thing, getting into the hand is one thing, putting a body on the field 10 times better than anything. So
I was gonna say I feel like they are. It's kind of feels like it's like that new engine Konami is like kind of grooming to be the new it's just the control deck that's gonna last for the next like well, maybe even like more than cash. It might be like that control deck for the next like year or two. Where it's just it's like halfway an engine, kind of it's like a deck,
and
then
thing. Hopefully
its
not
own
that
thing
long,
is
yeah,
generic, good control cards. It gives me like kind of striker vibes, kind of
with the support that goes
kind
with
of
it,
Alistair-ish, like to some small degree. Like it's weird. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going to be that card you're going to see a lot of.
True.
It's going to be on playmats. It's going to be teched in like a lot of topping builds.
Beautiful. It better be on a playmat. It is beautiful.
Yeah, and the snake eye and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's that too.
Does the snake eye stuff matter? Is that like
some of it does? I mean, granted, it's all about how you play it. Again, it's just going to be an engine. So some of it will to some people, depending on strategies, but not necessarily. I don't feel like you need most of it to play her and the spell at least. So.
Yeah. Okay. And then Kin and Gin. How are you feeling about them? I know that's like the new hot thing on the block.
Yeah, right now everybody's freaking out about it. Everybody's like, Konami, what are you thinking? I don't think. I mean, first off, on paper, it's scary. I understand everybody's sentiments about it. I see why there's fear.
So what is it that they do?
So one summons the other easily. So one is, and I don't remember which one does what, but I know one summons the other. And one
makes your opponent discard a card.
Then one that either draws.
And then your opponent draws 2 and discards 1.
That's the one. So either way it goes, because you play 3 of one of the other. I can't think what it is. But either way it goes, all that it does is it facilitates the ability to use thrust and tactics on your first turn. Like it forces your opponent to activate a monster effect for you to play your cards, basically. So that's the big fear about it. My thing with that is, while that is scary, and while I understand why people are freaking out about it, I am not freaking out about it, because these cards are commons, and before somebody says there are a lot of great commons, at this point in the game, sometimes they're like being commons at this point, there's commons for a reason. I don't feel like Konami is going to let that be a huge thing that we should worry about for a long time, if at all. So, will it be something that people play? Yes. Also, another thing that I was talking to a friend about real quick is that while it's a very simple engine to run, it's still an engine that you have to put into a deck that may not require that engine. Yeah, it is a little
committal.
You know what I mean? So you have to actually play the engine. And at that point,
almost ask, do you think it'll be like sided? I feel like probably not.
I feel like
it's just like the main thing is it does mean that if you run these and you got to also be running talents and thrust.
Talents,
like,
thrust, maybe roller because you got to get to it fast.
But it is commitment.
There's literally, if we sat here right now and we talked about what the meta decks were, there's no meta deck that we currently have coming out or that is out that's going to say, hey, these 4 warriors fit in perfectly with my strategy. And that's where the thing comes. So unless you have something based around that, and again, like you said, that makes it too committal at that point. So I feel like in the beginning of the format, we're going to play it. And
then people will figure out, like...
It's not worth it.
We'll get to the bottom of it,
basically, so either it's not worth it or somebody, or there'll be outs to it or whatever the case may be. I'm not that afraid of it.
Yeah. Any other highlights from Age of Overlord?
SP Little Knight.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
SP Little Knight. Everybody better have at least one.
So
you better have that card.
Like that's going to be the new...
I mean, granted, I don't want to like hype anything up too. I hate doing that, but I've read that card and I love that card. I love it. It's the coolest little thing ever. I'm going to have one. Y'all better pick y'all up one.
And what do you think about the Zeus guy?
The anti-Zeus, basically?
Anti-Zeus sort of thing. Any promise or potential there?
Potential, yes. Promise, no. But all Yu-Gi-Oh cards have potential, I guess. But no, there's definitely potential there. We'll take some testing. As it currently stands, I don't see me running it in what I'm doing, but I see why it could be run. Zeus also just hasn't been that huge of a thing lately, to be honest with you. It just really hasn't. Yeah. So it's hit or miss with this upcoming format. Like even with the new decks coming out, I don't see a lot of Xyz spam or Xyz anything. So
cool. Well, final grade. I mean, how do you feel? Do you think Agov's like good, bad?
I give Agov an A for giving a grade. Agov is a really good. It's a really good set.
Agov gets an A.
Agov gets an A. Better than Duelist Nexus. Has a lot of useful support for other decks that people are probably forgetting about as well. And a lot of new useful archetypes. So you guys check that set out for real. But I think it gets an A. I'm excited for it.